Welcome everybody to the first Orange Bowl Huddle of 2025, first of the season. I'm your host, Mike Cugno, anchor at CBS Miami. I'm joined by fellow Seminoles. It's a big FSU day here on the Orange Bowl Huddle. You got Henri Crockett down on the far left, who of course is the first Orange Bowl committee president and chair to play in the Orange Bowl, which is always a unique distinction. And then we got Secretary of the Florida Lottery here with us, John Davis, who played safety at FSU. And these guys, Henri, of course, is a linebacker. You guys played together.
Correct.
So you're used to teaming up on skinny dudes like me over the middle. Are you guys just reminiscing a lot right now on the drive over here?
Well, I tell you, it's been fun just to be here. And, Henri and I, we always get a chance to converse and to talk about not just football, but just life in general.
Right.
Just how blessed and fortunate we are to be in the roles that we're in today and the impact that we continue to try and have on so many, on our community, especially the youth. And I just talk about the work that he's doing with his foundation, the work that he's doing here in his role with the Orange Bowl Committee, and just what we're doing at the Florida Lottery and the impact that we continue to have and the partnerships that we have. So it's always fun, and of course to kind of reminisce about our days back at Florida State. So it's a great thing.
We're going to talk about the partnership, of course, everything the Florida Lottery is doing, what the Orange Bowl is doing with their media makeovers, media center makeovers. But first, let's have a little fun, talk about the football. And Henri, could you talk about what the Orange Bowl has meant to you, being a guy to go to Florida State and now wear the orange jacket and be a part of the committee, but understanding how much all of this means to you as a person and your upbringing?
Yeah, it's amazing. For me, it's come full circle, right? Being from South Florida, then going to Florida State and the Orange Bowl being the first bowl game that I ever played in. And we won that game and won the national championship here. And then also coming back to be the first player to play in the Orange Bowl, become the chairman of the Orange Bowl, you get opportunity to see it from both sides. You get up, and as a player, you get opportunity to go to all these cool things that we do at the Orange Bowl, but then being on the other side, you see all the hard work that goes into it, the commitment to the community, the commitment to youth sports, and how you tie all these things together on a year-to-year basis. So it's just been very enlightening, and days like this to be able to sit here next to my good friend John Davis, and in all seriousness, he's always been a mentor to me. When I was a young freshman, able to go in this room at the end of the hall and sit down, sit down in this chair and just talk. I was struggling as a freshman, and being able to sit down with him, he give me some tough advice. You know what I mean? And so it's always cool to be able to sit here now, to see where we at, and with the Orange Bowl being a partnership with the lottery, it's just an awesome opportunity for us to be here talking.
Now, the three of us went to, you guys kind of overlapped at Florida State. I caught the tail end of the Bobby Bowden era, so I do remember Bobby and what he meant, of course, to Florida State, and still does. Secretary Davis, can you talk about growing up in Pahokee and being recruited by Bobby, a legend, and what that meant for you?
Absolutely. I mean, just growing up there in Pahokee, a little small town, was always like the kid with my former teammate Crockett. We call him Crockett, I know. And just to talk about him being from the city and myself being from a little rural area like Pahokee. But there, he just taught discipline, just the importance of teamwork, and just the value of perseverance. You begin to think about those things, and you head off to Florida State, and those things are just reinforced there at Florida State, and with Coach Bowden and Mickey Andrews, and just the teammates that you have. And I always like to even add things. The opportunity of really becoming a man was heightened because Coach Bowden, and I think if you get a chance to speak with anybody that played for Coach Bowden, there were three things that were important to him, and he lived by those three things, and it was what we call the 3 F's, and that was faith, family, and football. And it was really in that order where we really, it was something that was important, and every day we lived that, and it's amazing. Comes full circle, like Croc said, when you think about being a young man now, and you begin to understand the things that he helped instill in us, and it was more than just playing football. He was really helping us become men. And I remember when he came to visit me in Pahokee, and that's one thing that swayed me from Notre Dame, which I committed to. And he and the conversation that he had with my mom, I just remember he said that I would be a father figure, and he truly was a father figure. And we're very grateful for Coach Bowden and just what he's been able to do for so many of us.
Henry, are you grateful this guy's end up at Notre Dame?
Oh man, I didn't know you were committed to Notre Dame.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, and to piggyback on that, like a lot of the things that Coach Bowden and Coach Mickey Andrews instilled in us, I still use today.
Yeah.
My son has decided he wanted to play football, and I talk about a lot of the disciplines that was passed down to me from Coach Mickey Andrews and Coach Bowden, and it rings true, just not in football, in business too.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, you learn in the business world that we're a team, and you just can't. And everybody has to be working at the highest level at the same time.
Yeah.
In order for us to be successful, and that was the thing that Coach Mickey Andrews was really big on. And you literally look at when we're just talking about, you can make a great play, but it's the process leading up to that play that was so important to Coach Mickey Andrews, Coach Bowden. So, you know, and like I said, those things that we still use today, and it's important that we move on through our life and we pass those things down and still hold true.
Yeah, before we started rolling, we were talking about the tomahawks on the helmet. That's
Yeah.
what he's referring to. If you don't complete the process of the play or even
Correct.
start it the right way, you don't get the little sticker on your helmet.
Yeah.
But you guys, let me tell you what, you both, and both organizations, the Orange Bowl and Florida Lottery, definitely deserve helmet stickers for what you guys have been doing and the partnership. Secretary Davis, could you talk about just kind of that alignment between the Orange Bowl committee, the Orange Bowl Cares, and the Florida Lottery, and how important this partnership is to each other?
Absolutely. I know when you think about just the history of the Orange Bowl, it is just engraved in college football, and everyone knows and understands the impact that the Orange Bowl has. And I think the thing that oftentimes is not as doesn't quite get the attention, and the awareness is not always there. It's just the work that they do and the leadership role that they play in the community. And that's something that is very important to us. And I know we, in partnering with the Orange Bowl, which is so important for us, for them, because of their role, it really helps heighten the work that we do at the Florida Lottery, which is all about education. When you began to think about being able to partner with the Orange Bowl and their focus on youth, their focus on education, and their focus on community, all those things are very important to us. And ultimately, we are working together as partners to utilize our platforms to really create the awareness and to really focus on those youth, and as well as our community. And that's something that, Crockett and I, we talk about all the time, even before we both were in this role. And just to be able to have this, as he mentioned, to come full circle, to be able to utilize our platforms, in which the Orange Bowl is probably one of the best partners that we could have here in the state of Florida. And we're just grateful that we get to work together and to be able to think about the makeovers that are taking place, which is something that I've been a part of. I had a chance to experience one yesterday as well. And we'll continue to do that, as well as the Leadership Academy.
We're going to talk about the makeovers in a little bit, but Henry, when he talks about just, what you guys do for the youth and in the community, I'm wondering where does the inspiration keep coming when you see those faces of the thousands of kids you guys have impacted over the years? Because I think it's one thing to want to start, but to keep pushing forward, I think says a lot about both organizations.
Yeah, and I just think that it starts with mentorship. We all benefited from it, and it's important that we pay it forward. So you see these media makeovers and the place that we're going to give all this assistance and all these resources to is important, because what we're doing is we're updating all the technology in these media centers, and we're helping bridge that digital divide in these underserved communities, which is huge. And we're actually getting these kids prepared for jobs that haven't been created yet.
Yeah.
And it's important that when we go into these underserved communities and we identify these schools, that we have these things in mind, because it's important that we level the playing field for those kids. It's important that we give them the same resources that the private school has. So when you go to these schools, they don't, it's the schools that they don't have the funds to be able to do the things that we do. And that's what makes it such a great partnership for the Florida Lottery and the Orange Bowl to come together and the things that we do in Orange Bowl Care is to be able to make a huge impact. So that's something that we're extremely excited about, and that's what it's really all about. I mean, the game is great,
Right.
but what we do in the community and the impact that we're making in the education and the school systems and the communities, and making it a safer environment for these families to come out and enjoy their kids on a day of fun. So it's important.
Secretary Davis, I know you were there for a ribbon cutting for one of these media center makeovers at Canal Point Elementary in Glades. What was that experience like?
I tell you, I've had the opportunity to participate and be a part of quite a few of them, but that experience was breathtaking. And reason being is because having grown up there in the Glades area, they're back really in my hometown, and it was personal for me because I could just, my mom transitioned some years ago, but being back there and just really just thinking about her, just wishing she was there, and having a chance to see friends and family that all showed up and they're a part of that, and to know that the Orange Bowl, their committee, the Orange Bowl committee, and just the reach of between Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade, and to have them there in my neck of the woods, as I like to say, was just extremely personal, and it was just heartfelt, and I was just so grateful to know that hey, I've had a chance to be a part of something that is truly impacting a community that I grew up in, and I just know how fortunate that these individuals are to have a chance to have the Orange Bowl and the Florida Lottery and other partners to actually be there to be able to assist and help them.
One of my favorite things about this panel today is I think each of us, including myself, have been touched or affected or benefited from something either the Orange Bowl has done or the Florida Lottery has done, because the Bright Futures program is something that I was able to take advantage of and go to Florida State as well. What's up, Tallahassee? Can you talk about the Bright Futures program that the Florida Lottery has been such a big part of, and obviously it affects a lot of students. I mean, there's people behind the cameras today here at the Orange Bowl Huddle who have also benefited from this.
Yes, it is something that is extraordinary. We began to think about the Bright Future Scholarship. It was created in 1997 by the Florida legislature, of being able to award and to create an opportunity for our students, our graduating students, to be able to keep that talent here in the state of Florida, and to give them an opportunity to be able to obtain a post-secondary degree or certification or opportunity. And we begin to think about it. Right now, we will literally pay for these students to attend any Florida school here and pay for their tuition, whether they're wanting to attend a college or university, as well as our vocation and technical schools. We do recognize that every child is not going to attend college, and for those who perhaps maybe want to be an electrician or CDL license, whatever it may be, we would also pay for those certifications, and that is so important. And to be able to have a partner like the Orange Bowl is so important for us, because they have those connections within the community, with not just the students, the youth, but the parents and the teachers as well. And we want everyone to really understand the importance of that. And you think about individuals like Crockett and myself, we had a full ride scholarship. And we want to make sure that these students also know and recognize that they can also attend college and have it paid for as well.
And look, I'm living proof that it works, and I appreciate everything the Florida Lottery has done. Henri, we kind of started this whole thing. I asked Secretary Davis about the partnership and got his standpoint from the Florida Lottery standpoint. Could you explain what this partnership has meant for the Orange Bowl Committee?
I mean, it's huge for the Orange Bowl Committee, because what it does is it extends our reach. Every year we sit down and we come up with these ideas of how we want to impact our community. Whether it's with the Leadership Academy, or it's the media makeovers, or it's our back to school events, or it's our legacy parks that we create. And we commit a lot of funds to that. And to be able to have a partnership like the lottery to come in and say, you know what, I'm willing to go down this road with you. I mean, it's important, because the impact that it's making, it's huge. And we get opportunity to see it on a daily basis. You go out to one of these parks this weekend, it's going to be packed. And you're going to see the families coming out there, bringing their chairs, sit down. You come back during the week, going at 8 o'clock at night. the lights on, the families out here walking, getting healthy. So it's not only impacting the kids, it's impacting the parents, it's impacting how they live in the communities that these kids grow up in. It's important. But even when we start talking about the bright futures, it's so important because you start to realize like a lot of the kids in the underserved communities don't really know about it. Yes. So it's an opportunity like for the Orange Bowl and the Crockett Foundation to be able to shed light on those, on the bright future scholarships, because it's really important because even at the Crockett Foundation, we created something like Crockett Scholars, right? Yeah. And we built it around the bright futures platform to make sure the kids have a certain amount of volunteer hours, because there's a lot of accountability that comes with Bright Future, which I think is important. You know, as much as you're giving, you have to give back. So your volunteer hours that you have to maintain a certain GPA, your test scores, all these things that play a huge part in it's not just all about the kid getting the funds. It's like holding them accountable, you're giving back, and you're leaving footprints for other people to follow. So, I mean, you put all those things together, that's what the Orange Bowl is really all about, you know, education and community and making a real impact. And the partnership that we have, I think, is unmatched, and we're excited about what we're going to do moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, as two community leaders here, you guys are definitely walking that path for a lot of people and leaving those footprints. As you mentioned, I want to thank both of you, Henri Crockett and Secretary Davis from the Florida Lottery, for being here today. And thanks to you at home for watching us here on the Orange Bowl Huddle. Again, this is the first of 2025. If you want to learn more about both foundations and initiatives and what they're doing, orangebowl.org is where you can find stuff on the Orange Bowl, of course, and then FOALottery.com is where you can go to learn more about what's going on with Florida Lottery and, of course, Bright Futures and what that program means. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. Go Noles.
Go Noles.
Go
Go Noles.
We won't do that. I was going to say we're going to do the tomahawk drop. But there it is. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.